we are once again covering the E3 conferences. Right now we're going to tackle Ubisoft, which we didn't get to do because I was the only one up for it. Everyone else went to bed, but we're going to cover it now after we just watched Sony, and then we'll smash out Sony as well. So we've got a bit to do, so let's just get it done so I can go sleep. Ubisoft, I feared the worst when it started because what even was that at the start, guys?
I thought it was really funny. It was really funny.
They killed Queen. I'm sad. Why do they have random animals dancing? It doesn't make sense. It had nothing to do with Just Dance. They're like, let's just get some people dressed up to go dance on stage for a bit.
I think they've just run out of ideas of how they can present Just Dance and it not be super awkward and jarring. So they're just like, screw it. This is how we're going to open the show, and we're just going to make a gag out of it, basically.
Just compare the Ubisoft start to the Sony start, where they have a full-on orchestra. Sony has an epic orchestra. Ubisoft have a bunch of wackos dancing to "Don't Stop Me Now."
I'll take the wackos any day. But yeah, Just Dance. I don't think we actually learned anything about it, other than actually I did see on Twitter that it is coming to NX. So, yay, we got NX news. But
probably
it's just
a home
Dance.
console.
Yeah.
What did they say? Just Dance for NX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Um,
The age we live in when the first officially announced NX game is Just Dance 2017.
Oh god.
We got
Okay.
Zelda.
So right off the bat, Ubi gave us Ghost Recon. I was kind of hyped for this after seeing it last year's E3. It looked quite good, and I think I was more excited for it because Siege at the time seemed like a really interesting game that we could get into. Division even looked good, and then they were going to do another Tom Clancy game on top of that, and I thought, bring it on. I want more Tom Clancy. But since then, Siege has been a bit of a I won't say disappointment. I think it's still getting support, but it's not the game I hoped it would be. Division is just that's just going downhill with the number of players, something like 93% drop on Steam. So Ghost Recon, I worry that it's just going to follow in the same footsteps. And the demos that Ubisoft put out for these Tom Clancy games are not helping them one bit. They are so fake and scripted and just absolute bullshit. No one actually works as a team like these actors do.
They always do this thing where they show their last game. Well, last year, Ghost Recon was their last game. And it's really exciting and really interesting. And then they come back next year and it's just this kind of mess. And not what we expected it to be. And
downgrades.
Yeah, downgrades. Exactly. And it happened with Watch Dogs as well. I'm not as hyped as I was for it. But it still could be good.
Moving on, South Park. This was actually really surprising for me because I didn't play the Stick of Truth. Appeal. I mean, South Park is funny. That they made a game out of it. Why not? It's like a turn-based RPG, right? And
kind of like the Paper Mario games.
I just never got around to playing it. I thought, oh yeah, it's just South Park, except I can play as one of the characters. But watching the Fractured But Whole, that actually looks a lot of fun, and I can't wait to play it. And the two developers, well, they're not really developers, they're guys behind South Park, aren't they? Trey and Matt, they just made it even more enjoyable, just the way they presented that game. So, I don't know about you guys, but yeah, looking very forward to it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of South Park, but the game interested me a lot because it's all like riffing on Marvel and DC and stuff. So it's really interesting.
I love that.
I think that'll interest me if I decide to get it.
Yeah, that story trailer was hilarious, where they just rip off the whole Marvel movie franchise.
Yeah.
I think they could have a lot of fun with the superhero powers as well. I'm not sure about Cartman's name, the Coon. Is that what he's calling himself?
Yeah,
How do they get away with that?
because it's from the TV series. That's an already established thing.
Oh, all right.
There's episodes of it where he is the coon.
Oh,
Oh boy.
It's just one of the South Park things that they somehow get away with for whatever reason.
That's why we love it, though. They did mention time and space are the two differences with the Fractured Butthole compared to the Stick of Truth. The time, I've forgotten what the time one was. The space one was that you could actually move your character around to position them, sort of like grid-like and everything. Yeah, shit, I've forgotten what the time part of it was, but they seemed like decent enough changes. I just kind of got caught up in how awesome some of the moves looked. That gas fart.
The gas fart. Yep.
Oh,
Perfect.
yeah. And enough of South Park though. It does look really good though, and I think it was well deserved the amount of time that it got. I really wasn't expecting it to get that much time at all. But yeah,
it felt like one of their smaller releases, but they really
it made it a big one. Yeah. The Division we just touched on, I guess, but that is getting some more DLC. We learned in Microsoft's conference that it was getting a DLC pack called The Underground, and then in Ubisoft they revealed that it's getting another one, Survival. I couldn't tell you about it because I wasn't really.
It was just a trailer,
but...
like a CGI trailer, so we don't really know much about it.
So we didn't actually learn about what each of the DLC packs have in them.
No,
just CGI. Yep, they're not doing too well with Tom Clancy. Moving on, VR. Ubisoft are taking on VR quite differently to other developers. I noticed that they're going for multiplayer. You don't really see multiplayer done much with virtual reality, and I think it's something that should happen more after we saw Eagle Flight. It may seem just like a simple game, but it does look a lot of fun to play. It's just capture the flag, but playing as eagles and in virtual reality, chasing each other all over the shop. I don't know. It looked pretty fun to me, but maybe I'm in the minority.
Yeah, I really liked it. It looks interesting. If I were to get a VR headset, I'd definitely... I mean, it's just trying to find friends who have VR headsets.
Yeah, that is one thing. Sam, did you catch Eagle Flight yet? Or you still
Yeah, I did. It looks like a good experience. I think those are the type of experience that will really work in VR, because as you guys know, I'm a bit skeptical on the whole VR experience.
Star Trek VR, on the other hand, looks like a PS1 game. They actually got the Star Trek actors. I can't remember his name. Help me out here, Pete.
LeVar Burton.
Okay, there you go. See, I don't watch Star Trek, so I wouldn't know anyway. But they seemed like they were enjoying the game, but I don't think it is going to be as good as they talked it up to be. I think it's really just one for the Star Trek fanboys.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially since it looks terrible graphically.
Yeah.
They could have made it look a bit better.
Look,
like, nothing is happening.
Push these buttons and the accelerator of the spaceship moves up or whatever. You got to make sure there's enough lithium crystals or power the ship, or I don't know.
Yeah, the only thing I liked about it was that it was co-op, and it was, you each had a specific role.
Yes, you each have a specific role. Press this button. I'll press this button and you press this button and the spaceship will fly. Yeah, this is why I play games.
I'm so cynical. All right. Moving on. No more VR because it's upsetting Tam. Grow up. Grow up,
Tam.
I'm not. I'm not telling Tam to grow up. Grow Up is the new. I'm guessing it's a straight sequel to Grow Home, which features some weird little red robot that I can't remember the name of. I played a bit of Grow Home when it was free on PlayStation Plus. Didn't really click for me. I didn't enjoy it as much as Richard. Richard actually loves the game. He's talked it up a few times. It's good to see Grow Home getting a sequel. nonetheless, and hopefully they improve on some of the. I just found it a bit clunky and awkward to control and things like that. So yeah,
There wasn't a lot to do as well. Like, it's just climbing.
yeah.
That's it.
Okay, For Honor, I wasn't as excited for this one as Tam was. Tam loves For Honor, but I am now after seeing gameplay, a fair amount of gameplay too. I have to say that it did look similar to Rise in parts, but I actually enjoyed Rise, and it reminded me of Rise if Rise was actually executed properly.
It wasn't just a quick time fest, yeah.
Yeah, that's the game Rise should have been, in terms of combat. But I also enjoyed the cinematic. I feel like that's setting up a good story for Honor, and it seems to actually have an identity. Whereas before, Tam, we did talk about how it was too similar to games like Chivalry, and how it's going to stand out from those. So are you satisfied that it is going to be a standout from those?
I am, because the combat systems does seem more unique than those games. I think it will stand out, and it has a lot of potential. I think it's going to be a very good game.
Pete, are you a fan?
Yeah, I need to see more of it, I think. When is it coming out? Does it have a date?
I feel like
don't
it's
think
coming
we
out
did.
this year.
No, February 14, 2017.
Okay, so
Ah.
next year. Oh yeah, that's right,
yeah,
Valentine's Day.
Day.
Of course.
Yeah.
But how
Yeah.
how can you not love a game where it's Vikings versus knights versus samurais?
It is.
Don't
that
tell
is
me
very
how
cool.
Don't tell me how that works. As a history fanatic, I question it, but it can't be questioned. It's happening.
Speaking of things that just shouldn't be questioned, Blood Dragon and
Yes.
Trials
Oh
have
yeah,
got together, and
the mashup everyone was asking for.
yeah, who asked for this? But it does
Goog
actually
probably did.
look just weirdly awesome. Trials of the Blood Dragon shouldn't be a game, but it is, and I might actually be interested in getting it. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think it's a good, like, because like Trials is kind of silly anyway. Like, you can do
Yeah.
silly stuff with Trials and it doesn't matter.
I feel like it makes sense to make Trials as silly as possible, whereas before maybe they actually put a restraint on they wanted to make it somewhat of a proper game
Yeah.
and not get too ridiculous with it. But I think they should get ridiculous with it. That looks good fun.
No, I agree, especially in the trailer where they show some like action, like 80s action movie-esque scenes of like vehicles going into helicopters and things. I think it's got to be pretty fun game because they don't care anymore. They're like, oh, let's just. It's like Blood Dragon. Blood Dragon, they did not care anymore. They're like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay, Watch Dogs 2. Now, Watch Dogs copped a lot of criticism, so I was pretty surprised to see that it was going to return this year so soon. But it doesn't look too bad. I haven't played the original yet. I've got it sitting on the shelf because I picked it up cheap, but it doesn't look too bad gameplay-wise.
Yeah, it looks
I don't know
interesting
how-
enough.
Pete, you played the original, yeah?
Yeah, I finished it. It's not the worst game I've ever played. Which
Yeah.
is a glowing review, I know, but
Definitely.
yeah, I'll pick this up when it's cheap too, I guess. I don't think there's I just watched the gameplay then, and I don't think there's enough there that's new to get me like I'm gonna buy this day one, but
So all
Is
the
it-
all the little gadgets and hacking, that was all in the original. There was nothing really new there.
I don't know if all of it was there, but there was enough there that I'm like, yeah, it's the same kind of like situation scenarios. I'm kind of I don't know, and they've made it all like super hipster.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
kind of
not-
like the characters though. I don't mind that, but yeah, I can see why people are a bit irked by it. But yeah,
I still want to know why it's called Watch Dogs.
Because they're
That's all I
watching
want to know.
or something. I don't know.
You're just spying, hacking to spy. Anyway.
You're a watchdog. I don't know. What's next?
What is next?
Steep.
Pete, I can't believe
Steep.
that I can't believe I got the SSX. I can't even say it. SSX game of my dreams because I'd been wanting a new SSX game for a while. Don't ask me why. I loved some of the old ones, particularly the one on GameCube, and I was ready for a new SSX game. EA didn't give it to me, but Ubisoft have, and more, because Steep is it's skiing, snowboarding, what is it, paragliding,
Yep.
windfalling, and it's just a racing game down this massive mountain. So they've sort of made it is basically open world, isn't it? You can sort of just go wherever the hell you want on that mountain.
Yep.
Yeah, you could. There's like war points where you can go to different mountain points and just start going down.
I think it looks a lot of fun, and I think visually it's impressive. I think all the replay stuff that will be a lot of fun to play around with. I think it's just a game for me. Maybe it's not for everyone, but I can definitely get on board with Steep. The name's probably the only thing I can criticize.
But the mountain's so steep, Dave.
Steep is just it's not a catchy name. It's nothing.
What did SSX stand for? Skiing, snowboarding, extreme.
Extreme.
Or something?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I guess that is a cool name. But I think for Steve, I think we need to see a bit more of it before I can make a judgment on whether it's a game I'll pick up or not. If there's actually an in-depth like mission structure and that sort of thing, it could be interesting. But if it's just go to these mountains and you just like race down for a bit, could get a bit repetitive.
If you do want to check out Steep, there is an open beta happening at some. Well, actually, it will be closed beta. Closed beta, sorry, because you can get online and register for it. It's pretty easy to find. So I'll be trying to get into that. I know Pete's registered as well.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that was actually the only game in Ubisoft's conference that got a beta, which is a bit strange. But
Ghost Recon doesn't have one yet.
Not yet.
I don't think so. So yeah, no, I'm excited for it. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, like I do most games. But yeah, and that was Ubisoft, guys. Overall, I thought they had a pretty solid conference. Whether they beat Microsoft, I can't really decide yet. I'm not sure which games I liked better, but I just liked the way Ubisoft's was handled. Aisha Tyler, I mean, we love her.
Yeah.
So
She killed it.
that makes it more enjoyable. Not everyone's a fan, of course, and she let those people know. she especially let that Reddit leaker know. But
you enjoyed their conference the most, didn't you, Dave?
At this stage, yeah, I think so. But I'm still, yeah. I think I have to go back and watch stuff and maybe check out some more gameplay, because there is still more gameplay coming out after E3 where they go and chat with the developers and actually show off more of their games. So I have a fair bit of viewing before I can make a decision. But at this stage, I think Ubi killed it.
Yeah, they've been pretty good for the last few years, so it's good to see. Much better than what they used to be like. Yeah,
it's good to see them on the improve, considering they've been doing it basically as long as EA have, and EA's just gone nowhere with theirs, and Ubi just keeps improving.
Yeah, Ubisoft really know how to do a conference now, which is nice, but it means that like you don't want to get too hyped on the games, because it could just be them like blowing it up and being like, this is the most amazing thing ever, and then you get baited.
Well, they do like their CG trailers.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, guys, we'll leave it at that. We'll get stuck into Sony's in a minute. And yeah, anyone listening, thank you for listening. And if you would like to hear our thoughts on Sony's conference, please stay tuned.
Got my own monster, nobody but me. I would never call him enemy. He's the bad God on me. Losing my boundaries. setting me free. All my dreams he speak to me. He's too bad God on me. He's too bad God